This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. I've just had the revelation that when you turn up tube amps loud, they sound quite good. This is the 2Rock Classic Reverb Signature, and last night when Elodie and Liana had gone to bed, I decided to chuck it into the Fractal Load Box and do some kind of direct recording, and something that I wouldn't really be able to, or hadn't thought to try particularly, was kind of turning the master and the gain up quite high. So I think the gain here is probably about 8, and the master I had it pretty high as well. And you get this, I found something similar with the Matchless Lightning clone. The touch responsiveness of it kind of starts to jump up. And I'm just noticing that here is maybe where you start to think, right, that is why I would still want an amplifier in some regards. And I'm finding that I'm playing, I think, with a touch more dynamics, because when I back off, I'm still hearing like pitch up and all these sorts of things coming through, and kind of enjoying it. The only trouble is incredibly loud, and I got Lenny to just film what was happening downstairs. It turns out the kid is not particularly bothered by it, but I don't particularly like. I've done a video on this, playing with super loud amplifiers in general, because I find that you can't really hear what else is going on. So if I'm recording at home, I wouldn't be able to hear the click track, or live, of course, you've got sound guys saying like, "What are you doing?" There's probably no reason that a guitarist needs to be that much louder than a drummer, right? But yeah, I thought it was quite a cool sound. Now, I don't think the tone is necessarily a thing that I couldn't get in the modelling world. I do feel like it's a little bit of the feel thing, but I don't know. It could just be a bit of placebo for me. Of course, it's an incredibly expensive amplifier, and you'd hope that it sounded pretty good. But this is the kind of getting towards the sort of dumbly tones that I quite like. The idea where you've got a load of gain, but still are able to kind of just play lightly, and that kind of just cleans up really well. Is that part of the dumble sound that people like? The other thing that I'm noticing is, even when I was sat close to it with the load box, I was finding it incredibly quiet with the master and the gain up where they were. I don't think you'll particularly notice noise coming through, which I don't quite understand, because to me it seemed like these settings should be obnoxiously noisy. Particularly if I actually plug in the speaker, the noise creeps up, as you'll probably be able to tell from the camera audio. But through the load box system, the amp is dead quiet, which I wasn't really expecting, especially at these gain settings. So yeah, it's just a little bit of confirmation for me that experimenting with trying a load box is definitely worthwhile. I don't think it'd be smart to run an amp like this on those kind of settings all the time, although I feel like maybe the 2Rock stuff is built to withstand this sort of thing, maybe better than a vintage tube amplifier might be. I get the sense, when I was doing it, it wasn't like the chassis was getting hot or anything like that, and the noise level wasn't incredible. So to me, that sort of, I took as implying that it was kind of okay. I don't know if that would be the case or not, really. Let me know in the comments if that is going to fry an amp or not, or are they made to be run pretty hot? I don't have a great answer for that. I know the higher you turn up the gain and volume, the harder you're working the tubes, but I guess I guess in general they're expecting someone to try that at some point, maybe. Certainly couldn't do it on a stage. Maybe if I had an isolation sort of cab thing going on, I might be able to do it. But at home, I think the load box thing works quite well, and is basically open up these amplifiers in a way that I didn't really realise that these kind of tones were necessarily in there, because normally they come with ear-bleeding, shattering volumes that just don't, for me, make me want to play. Whereas if it's at a sensible volume that I can sit in the room with, because I'm going through a load box and Helix native essentially, then I'm inclined to actually turn on the tube amps and check them out and, you know, use them a bit more. So I would recommend giving that a try if you haven't. I did another video on this, but if you've got a load box, 2 notes, universal audio, aux box, of course you know about these things already. The only thing that I'm doing is maybe a little bit different to usual is I've got the X load, reactive load, and I'm running out of that into my audio interface, which is running Helix native then in the DAW, and I'm running like a cab with a bit of delay and reverb. So instead of like printing as I record the IR, I can come back and change it afterwards if I'm feeling like I need to make some tweaks. I'll chuck that preset into the folder if you want it. It's called like Load Box Vibes. But I'm enjoying it. And I don't know, did you like that tone? Did you think it sounded different to anything else that I would normally do, or does it sound completely like the sort of thing that would normally happen? I'd like to know your thoughts. I have a feeling on it, but let me know your thoughts in the comments if you want. Cheers.